signature.
This is clothing, and actually sign it if you're sending it in.
Absolutely. And it's a business letter. Think about it that way too. So it's all going to be left justified. No indenting. Absolutely want to set it up just with paragraphs. Just short paragraphs. Did you guys know that a business letter, you really only have to have 2 sentences and it's a paragraph? So easy to write a business letter. They're short to the point. Don't give me a lot of information that I don't care to read about. They're also going to only take 40 seconds to look at that too. So, unless it's interesting, because then I'm going to want to read the whole thing. But if when I read the first paragraph, I'm just like, oh, it's like every other cover letter, I'm just going to skip it. Maybe there was something really important you wanted them to know about. So business style, no indenting. And yeah, you're going to include all of that different information. Okay, sorry. Okay, like I said, avoid to whom it may concern. Personalize with Mr. or Ms. or hiring manager. Use a friendly opening. If you do know this person, or maybe you met them at the etiquette dinner, or maybe you met them at a job fair, tell them about that. Have your opening paragraph start with something personable, or maybe you were referred to the job by somebody who works in the company. Put that person's name in. It's okay to name drop. It's okay to give a little bit of information of how you know them or how to network. Networking is the #1 way to find a job and to find any kind of experience. So use your networking. Like I said, make presentable, left justified business format. Make sure everything is consistent with your resume. Have the job description handy. Highlight that thing, because it's going to tell you words that you should use. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but there are many companies who are using computer software to scan resumes and cover letters. And if you don't have certain keywords in there or things that they're looking for, you'll get disqualified and no one will ever read it. So use the job description to your advantage. Use the keywords they use. Add that in. And I'm not just saying create a list of words at the top. I'm saying interweave those keywords into your sentences, into your bullets, into your paragraphs. Let's see. Know your relevant experience, skills, qualifications, and experience. Make sure that you are referring to the correct resume, because remember, we're going to have more than one type of resume. So if you're going to connect it with or include a certain resume, make sure you're referring to the right resume and you're not talking about another resume or not including it with your information. Okay, to create the format, try to remain consistent with the resume. Make the case. Why are you writing? Which position? We already talked about that. Make the match. Add relevant, compelling information. Talk about something that I really think is great. In your opening paragraph, tell me something a little bit different than anybody else has. So if one thing you want to sell about yourself is the amount of experience you have, say something like 25 years of experience in whatever company or whatever industry, and my degree from the University of La Verne makes me well qualified for the position of intern at blah, blah, blah. So, you know, it gives a little bit different than just stating the title of the company and the company's name. Make sure to stay positive throughout the thing. Because there's a lot of times that people, because you're looking for a job for a long time. At the end, they say, please, I can't wait to hear from you. Please consider me. Now, you want to be confident throughout your letter. Show confidence. You wouldn't be, okay, let me ask this question. How many people here have applied for a job that they knew they were not qualified at all for? Really? Okay. I don't know if I've done that, but okay. Did you meet at least the minimum qualifications? Okay, no? Okay, what made you apply for a job that it was just to try, to see what happens?
Because I really thought I could do it.
Okay. But I bet you the way you put your resume and cover letter together helped demonstrate that, right? Okay, let's say it this way then. You wouldn't apply for a job you didn't think you couldn't do, right? You wouldn't just apply for, I wouldn't apply for a sales position. They would never hire me, number one. I might think I might be able to do it. Actually, no, I'd never be able to do it. I would be like, oh, you don't really need this. If you can't afford it, you don't need it. So, I would never be a good salesperson. So I wouldn't apply for a sales position. But if it's a position that maybe I don't meet all the qualifications, but I know I can do it, then I'm confident in myself. Show that to me in your resume and cover letter. Make sure to proofread it. We were talking earlier today that have you ever written a paper and you've read it 45 times and it's perfect, right? And then you have somebody proofread it for you and there's red marks all over it. That's because sometimes we don't see our own mistakes. So have somebody else read it for you. Bring it to us. Make an appointment with us. We can help you with it. We can help look through it. If you can't make an appointment with us because you need to turn it in now, have a friend or somebody look at it to at least get spelling errors. Spelling errors will get you disqualified at the very beginning. Send and follow up. So when you send it, it's okay to follow up. 2 weeks after you send it, follow up and let them know, I sent in my resume cover letter, I haven't heard anything back. When will you be choosing a candidate? How many people have only ever applied for one job at a time? Okay. Have you ever applied for more than one job at a time? A lot of times you do, right? Because I know I've applied for maybe 4 or 5. Well, to keep organized and on top of things, make a list. Make a list of when you send your resume, which resume you sent out, which cover letter you sent out. If you followed up, who did you talk to? Because then everything's in order and you're never going to send the same resume to the same company for the same job twice. Okay, you want to make sure not to do that. Okay, does anybody have any questions about cover letters or anything? Okay, make sure to check us out on, I'm sorry, did somebody have a question?
I'm not walking by.
Oh. Okay. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. You can find about our events here also. We have a lot of different events coming up and workshops. The resume gets you into the door to do an interview. The interview gets you the job. So making an effective and good first impression is really important. And knowing interview skills is also really important. And we're having a workshop about that in October. Have you guys ever met somebody and in the first few seconds of meeting them, you're like, oh, I don't know what I got. But then maybe a few minutes later, you thought, after talking to them for 50 minutes, I actually think they're kind of cool. Or it could be the other way around. So that's how important and how easy it is to create a lasting first impression. So you want to make sure that lasting first impression is a good one. So come to that workshop if you guys are interested. We also have the networking and etiquette dinner. Has anybody ever attended it before? Yeah, many times. 7, 5, thank you. It's a really great opportunity for you guys to, one, interact and network with employers, because we have employers come on campus. And we have employers specific to the different industries or the different majors that are going to be coming, the students that are going to be coming. You learn about networking, you learn how to do your 30-second elevator, you then learn about dining and business etiquette. Because did you know that there's many industries that actually do a interview over a meal? Did you know that? So having good dining etiquette is really a good way to make a good first impression. Okay, so those are some of the other events that we're having. Just so that you guys